Today we're going to show Canadians how to apply for your US ITIN so you can get your bank account open, you can file your US tax return, or whatever you want to do with it, get a W-8 Ben if you want. Most importantly, we're going to mention the number one reason why ITIN applications get rejected specifically for Canadians. And no, it's not got anything to do with your application that rejects it. It's got to do with the ID documents that you submit with it. Don't worry, we're going to go step by step and explain everything. In Canada, you get a SIN the day you land, and then you file the tax return at the end of the year. That's not how it works in the US. In the US, you don't get an ITIN the day you land or the day you start making money in the US. You need to get an ITIN when you're filing a US personal tax return, and then you attach the ITIN application, and that gets you your ITIN. The form to do that is called a W-7. But before we get into the form, I need to talk to you about the ID documents because that's what gets applications rejected, and that's super important to get it right. So the IRS wants you to verify your identity to make sure that you're the right person who's applying for the ITIN application. There are 4 ways to do that. Number 1, you take an appointment at an IRS center. Number 2, you find an enroll agent, which is actually very difficult to do in Canada. Number 3, you mail your original passport to the IRS, which is a big no-no. It can get lost or anything in transit, or it can get lost at their IRS office. Number 4 is my favorite, which is getting a certified copy of your passport from Service Canada and mailing it to the IRS. Whilst I love this the most, you do need to be very, very careful, as this is where Canadians get it wrong and they get their ITIN applications rejected, and it can delay things for them by a lot. So you're going to go onto Google and you're going to type in certified copy of Canadian passport. You're going to select this. The first website that opens up is the government one, and you just get here. Oh yeah, there's a $45 fee to do this. You're going to go down and you're going to say that I'm applying from Canada. I needed a copy of my passport, and how urgently do I need it? So if you need it the next business day, there are passport offices with urgent pickup, and you're going to just literally go in and walk in, right? Now, they will also need proof that you need it urgently. But if you don't need it that urgently, you can select 2 to 9 business days, and you have two options: by appointment or walk-in, right? Now, there's a very simple form that you need to fill out, and we can talk about that. But the third option is what I like the most. It's the easiest, and you can literally just mail it in. Now, you need to actually mail your physical passport in. So you want to select tracked mail here when you're sending it off from Canada Post. But you're going to download the form, and you're also going to download either a credit card payment authorization form or a certified check from your bank. And this is the mailing address. Now, in terms of the actual form, it's actually pretty easy. But it's literally got your, you want to put your name, your address here, and how many copies you require, and the way you're going to receive it, and then just sign it. And then obviously you're going to put your original passport in there. So let's talk about the one reason that most Canadians get their ITIN application rejected by the IRS. And that's something not to do with the IRS. That's not something in your application. It's unfortunately to do with how Service Canada is now certifying your copy of the passport. If you want to just read this here, they're saying is, starting this date in 2023, they're no longer embossing the copy of the passport. So what they used to do is, they used to print a color copy of your passport, and they used to stamp it with an embossed stamp, and that tells the IRS that this is an original copy and it's by Service Canada. They're no longer doing that. And the IRS wasn't ready for this, so there was no communication, unfortunately. And they were like, well, this is not what we're used to, and they started rejecting ITIN applications. We're not sure if they've kind of gotten to terms and gotten up to date with this, but you want to be safe, and you want to just print this page and highlight this specific section and send it along with your application, because you want to make sure that they read this and they kind of understand that the reason it's different now is because Service Canada is changing their process, not you doing anything differently. So that's it for the ID document, and I cannot emphasize this enough. You want to make sure that you're attaching this page to the mail that you send with your ITIN application. So now let's move over to the actual W-7 form. So here's the form, and you're going to select that you are a non-resident alien filing a US federal tax return, and you're applying for a new ITIN. You're going to put your name, your mailing address, and this is going to be your non-US address. You're going to put it here, your birth information, some other information like your where you're a citizen of, and you're literally just going to sign the form, and that's about it. So that's the ITIN application form done. Now you want to make sure that you do this one last thing on your US personal federal tax return. That is the 1040NR. You can get this off Google as well. So the 1040NR, you're just going to put where it says your identifying number. Usually people put their ITIN, but because you don't have an ITIN, you're going to put applied for. It doesn't come here fully, but they would understand it anyway. So you want to make sure that you're putting this so that they know that your ITIN, your W-7 is attached to this, your certified copy of the passport is attached, and they have to issue you an ITIN. So once you've done all of this, you're going to physically mail this in. And I remember I said that because you want to make sure that it gets to the right place at the right time, as you were doing the track mail with your certified passport copy, you also want to do a track mail for this as well, so it gets there before the deadline and in bill time. So here's the address if you don't have any tax owing and you want to mail the US tax return and the W-7. And now this is the address if you actually have a payment owing to the IRS and you are adding a check to your tax return. And that's really it, guys. Now, if you guys are based in Canada and you want to know more about US tax obligations, I'm making videos every single week. Hit subscribe, like this video. The YouTube algorithm is going to know that you like this stuff and it's going to give you more of this. It's going to help you save tax, it's going to ease your life, and it's going to make US Canada tax obligations so much simpler for you. See you in the next one.